should consider rephrasing the curricular are graduate employability, faculty recruitment, international partnership, student mobility, and ranking process. Yes, sir. Pradhiman, sir, you raised hand. Okay. Next is, now we have identified what are the requirements of a good curriculum to get into this. Let us see how the curriculum reforms can be designed to meet those expectations of various accreditation, ranking, and rating frameworks. So I have listed 10 different strategies or 10 different points which can be considered as 10-point curriculum reform roadmap. These points are totally from the leaders or policymakers' point of view. So how policymakers can motivate a good quality curriculum aligned with the national and global accreditation, ranking, and rating frameworks. So number one, establish an OBE-driven curriculum architect. What does it mean? It means there should be a system that every program should have its own program outcomes, PSO, CO, all those things. But not only there, institutions should go beyond that. They should effectively map COPO in a quantifiable way. They should also align that teaching practices and assessment practices to assess the outcomes, the attainment of outcomes. And this practice should be, continuous process. So every time a cycle of attainment of outcomes is completed, that should give you a data-based, insights of your system. And those insights should be utilized to reform your curriculum, to reform your system again. That way, evidence-based system is created, which gives you updating the curriculum and which gives your curriculum a different strength to be, standing in various accreditation and ranking ratings. Second is integrate global benchmarking. Yes, this is very much needed. Now, what do I mean global benchmarking? So, it is not that the other part of the world are doing better than us. No. We are doing good at our level. They are good at their level. But when you take insight from different universities and different person, you get a new approach. So by integrating global benchmarking, I mean you should compare our curriculum or your curriculum with top 10 or 20 or 50 QS or the world universities for your subject. At least 10 is also enough. You compare your curriculum with their curriculum for a particular program and see how they are different. What are the aspects they have covered which are lacking in your curriculum? If those aspects are possible, try to include it, try to integrate them, try to learn how they can enrich your curriculum, right? That is a way to improve the quality of curriculum to meet the global benchmarking. The another way is you should be focusing on integrating your global partnerships, your global collaborations in your curriculum designing and developing committee. So first of all, I suggest there should be a curriculum designing committee, and they should comprise of national as well as international, one representative, at least one representative from the same field. They can bring global approach to your local curriculum, So that is another thing you can do for the global benchmarking. Next is number 3, mandate interdisciplinary learning pathways. This is very much needed. Now, after NEP, right, the whole India is focused on interdisciplinary learning system, right? Without considering the true sense or true meaning of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary approach, everyone has gone into the concept that mix two fields and create something, and that would be an interdisciplinary approach, but that is not the correct way, right? Beginning from the first year, and it is already interdisciplinary approach. The curriculum that the Indian universities have are already multidisciplinary curriculum. Because when an engineering student is learning something, he is learning mathematics, he is learning physics, he is learning chemistry on a different page, right? So those mixture of different courses makes the curriculum multidisciplinary, yes. But the next level is making those multidisciplinary curriculum into interdisciplinary curriculum. The difference is very simple. When two different disciplines are working together, but they are not interfering in each other, or they are not collaborating for a common goal, the concept, the study, or the project, or the course remains multidisciplinary. But when both the different disciplines works together for a common goal, then the goal or the study or the project becomes interdisciplinary. So if I'm teaching mathematics to my engineering students and I'm teaching only mathematics concept, those course of mathematics remains multidisciplinary for the engineering field. But when I integrate the concepts of engineering and I teach my students how they can apply mathematics in solving the engineering problems, the application part are introduced in your curriculum, then that particular course becomes interdisciplinary course. That is what most of the university is lacking in their curriculum, right? So try to give your courses a touch of application. Let them learn how they can utilize those learning of that particular discipline into their different disciplines. So instead of teaching the students how the differentiation happens, give emphasis on how differentiation is helping in solving the problems. Similarly, teaching the principles of chemical reaction is not worth of saying interdisciplinary study. But applying those chemical reactions in the particular field and developing a new theory, that is how interdisciplinary approach can be gained. So for that, student is required to learn new things, of course, but the main, main force is the teachers, the educators. They have to get ready to explore the different things, to explore the different approaches of the subject or of the course. And then only they can convert this, they can take this interdisciplinary learning pathways. But why this interdisciplinary learning pathway is included in the leadership edition version? Because only educators or only students cannot work on this. Leaders or policymakers need to verify whether their curriculum approaches are including the interdisciplinary approach or not, right? Leaders can motivate the courses to introduce minors, to introduce MOOCs, online courses, to introduce cross-faculty electives, to encourage the problem-based and project-based learning across disciplines. And that is how leaders can facilitate interdisciplinary learning pathways. Yes. The fourth one is embedded employability, future skills, and so the next point which can be integrated in curriculum reform is embedded employability, of course, future skills, and industry 4.0. If you have noticed, since last 2 or 3 years, NIRF has also given a separate category for innovation, NIRF ranking in innovation, right? Why? Because they are focusing on skills. They are focusing on how well your curriculum supports to establish a venture and entrepreneurship, to nurture the entrepreneurship spirit in students, right? So embodying those aspects in your curriculum is also necessary, right? Industry 4.0 is the need of today. Now, many speakers also says that it is now an era of Industry 5.0 with AI coming in the scenario, and SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, given the greater emphasis, right? So Industry 5.0 is very close to getting generated, getting on surface, right? But how leadership can motivate or facilitate this? So they can incorporate mandatory industry internships, capstone projects, and labs. We all know how this is doing these days, but they should be given great emphasis, and they should be given great outsourced exposure as well. And leadership can also include digital skills, AI, data literacy, and business skills and communications in the curriculums. Yes, then Smriti, do you want to say something?
No, sir. Sorry, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. The fifth point I have listed is the strengthen assessment, design, and analytics. Yes. Look, there is a minor, conceptual gap between assessment and evaluation. What we do is evaluate. We evaluate the learning of our students. We do not assess them, because assessment is not only evaluating, it is giving feedbacks as well. Assessment should be transparent. Sometimes our evaluation system are not transparent, right? So one must understand the difference between assessment and evaluation. And from the evaluation mechanism, leaders or policymakers must shift their institutions to the assessment mechanism, right? They should strengthen the assessment, design, and analytics. They should strengthen the assessment processes. They must promote the use of structured rubrics and competency checks, and they should also promote developing a central digital assessment repositories for transparency. Transparency gives credibility to the institution. Number 6 is internationalization of curriculum. How can this be addressed as a leader or as a policy maker? So, policymakers or leaders should, try to or must approach to organize or facilitate the organization of joint courses with national and international universities. They should frequently organize guest lectures, co-teaching models, and global case studies should be included in the curriculum. They should also promote recognition of international credit. Credit transfer should be part of this. So that is how internationalization of curriculum can be happening. The small-scale universities or colleges can start with the nationalization and then go with the internationalization, or they can directly jump with the internationalization as well. So there is no dilemma, there is no big deal in getting internationalization nowadays. The foreign universities and foreign colleges are also ready to collaborate with Indian universities nowadays, and the collaborations are very much in fashion these days. You have seen many universities are coming to the India now as well to establish their campuses, and even Indian universities are going abroad to establish their campuses in their abroad countries. So that is now very normal these days. The world is getting smaller in that way as well. So internationalization is the next key the leadership or the policymakers should promote in curriculum designing. Number 7 is promoting undergraduate research culture. Now, this is very much neglected part of curriculum in our Indian education system as far as higher education is concerned. Recently, I visited a school, right? And there was a competition where students represented their innovative projects. They created robots. They created, mechanisms which are far complex for their level of graduation, their level of study. And our graduate students are not being able to do those things very sharply and effectively, right? Why is it so? Because at the higher education level, we have not successfully implemented the research or innovation related aspects in our curriculum. Frankly speaking, majority of universities gives no more emphasis on industry internship in true sense, you can say. Student goes to the industry and comes back, that's enough. But never we assess the learning, what student have learned there. We do not collaborate with the industry in terms of assessing the learning of the student, right? So that is what policymakers can make a difference. They must collaborate with the industries, and they must give good opportunity to their students in terms of internship, in terms of getting experts from the industries and teaching some skills to your students as a collaborative courses and all those things. And that is how policymakers can contribute in, you can say, research culture, number one. Number two, the research project should be promoted from the very beginning of the graduation. You can say the third semester or fourth semester. From gradually, they can go from the small research-related questions to a great research project in the last year. So what general practice we have is our student identify their project in sixth semester, if engineering is concerned. They identify their research problem in sixth semester, and gradually they take this to the fourth or eighth semester, right? But that is not the ideal way. When they are learning the basic, basic courses in the primary semesters, first, second, third, and fourth semesters, at that level as well, a small component of research should be there. For particular mathematics, a research component of kind of a small assessment, assignment that goes that learns the application of mathematics in their field, that should be given. Beyond the course, students should identify where mathematics is being applied in their field, and that is how they can start researching various papers or various fields, right? That is where they can be given a hint of research. They can start. This is about just a course of mathematics. The similar can be done in various basic courses as well. You can say thermodynamics or other courses of engineering. Similarly, for the other branches as well, the same concept can be applied. So the final statement is research should be promoted from the early semesters, not at the end of the graduation. At least you can give the course of research methodology in the first or second semester. It should be mandatory for all, or it can be elective, but elective is not a good option. So a course on research methodology can be elective. They can start surveying on the first and second semester and all this. A research project of final semester can also be in a collaboration with a student from the third semester or fourth semester. That is also a good idea if you wish to promote undergraduate research culture. But this is not this is not something only a teacher can do. So policymakers and decision makers must involve in this. The leadership must involve in this, and they should promote this culture. They should facilitate this culture, right? The next, number 8, is institutionalized curriculum review cycles. In any system, if monitoring is not there, if analysis or review process is not there, the system cannot be, survive or sustain for long. So obviously, curriculum review is equally important as the curriculum designing. Keeping the curriculum updated is very much necessary. And this curriculum review should be not at the end of only a program or a cycle of program. For example, if BTech curriculum is revised after 4 years only, that is not ideally good. Curriculum review can occur and it should occur every year. It is not necessary that it is revised every year, but it should be reviewed every year, right? So curriculum review should be yearly, or you can say at least twice in a program or thrice in a program. This review process should not be only based on the experts or the teachers involved in teaching, but it should take feedback from the students. It should take feedbacks from the alumni. It should take feedbacks from the employers, industry partners, regulators, the policy makers of other universities, other colleges, or you can say councils as well. And it should be based on the global benchmarks, right? It should be based on the industry needs, local needs as well. The ninth one is improve faculty capability in pedagogy and global standards. So once the curriculum is strengthened, that is not enough as well. You should have your faculties capable enough to successfully deliver that quality curriculum, right? You must facilitate the improvement in faculty capacity as well as in the pedagogy and global standards. Faculty should be given specific trainings based on OBE, blended learnings, assessment science, or various types of assessment, outcome-based assessment practices. They should be given enough exposure to national and international teaching practices through faculty exchange programs, right? A faculty exchange program can be designed in such a way that a faculty from your institution gets to another institute, learns about their practices, learns about their curriculum, learns about their assessment method, comes back and shares the learning with your institution, your department. And that is how a faculty exchange program can be truly designed, right? Obviously, faculty will love this program. It is a very great success at our university. The same can be adopted everywhere. The skills that we wish to see in our students that align with the industry needs are also necessary to be adopted by our faculties as well. That is why global certification of faculty should also be promoted and supported by the leaders. The last point I have included is outcome analytics, ranking and accreditation evidence. So once you have decided all these aspects and you are now set to reframe or redesign your curriculum quality should be converted into measurable institution impact. Your curriculum should focus on graduate employability statistics. It should focus on student mobility and international admissions. Student mobility means, as NEP gets, multiple entry, multiple exit, along with integration of MOOCs, along with credit transfer, along with the exchange programs. All these are considered in student mobilities. So your curriculum should be facilitating all those things, right? It can do all these things only if it aligns with the curriculum of global universities as well as the national universities, right? Next, you should focus on your research productivity from your coursework. Then your teaching learning quality metrics. As I said, curriculum is not only the course structure or the examination structure. It is equivalently depending on the teaching learning methods and delivery of the curriculum. So that should be given great emphasis. The policymakers and the leaders should create policies, right, that mandates innovation in teaching approaches, that facilitates innovation in teaching approaches. Right, only mandating the innovation is not sufficient. They must be supported as well. Teachers are contributors in enhancing the quality of curriculum and delivery of curriculum, but the leaders are the key partners which are behind the curtains and which can only motivate and promote and support their reputation related scores, So institutional reputation is majorly depending on the leaders, how well they facilitate all these aspects, right? How well they facilitate collaboration between various institutions. That is how they can contribute towards the outcome analytics. That is how they can contribute towards the perception and reputation improvement. And while talking about the accreditation and rankings, the leaderships must take ownership in accreditation and ranking rating readiness as well as submission. So before the IQAC team or any other team works, or the institution or the other stakeholders, teachers, students, give data and the data is being submitted, leadership or the policymakers must come forward, review the data, try to bring quality and the missing aspects in the data, and then those should be submitted. So this is very much important place where leadership must interfere, right? That is how they can contribute in accreditation, readiness, and ranking submissions. So this is how the 10th point comprises about the leadership. Beyond this, very point of attraction is SDG, which I have not mentioned here anywhere. NIRF also has a different category on SDG. QS has sustainability ranking. The higher education has the sustainability ratings, impact ratings, right? So all these are also equivalently feasible to be, contributed from the curriculum, right? What you should do is curriculum should be considering courses which contribute in several SDGs. Yes, sir. Sauvik. Okay. So SDGs are also given great emphasis nowadays. So the 11th point, if someone wants to make, is integration of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals of UN, right? There should be at least 5 courses out of your 100 courses or out of your 50 courses, which are depending on 1 or 2 SDGs directly, right? How well your education impacts on the society, that is all these 3 sustainability related aspects are measuring. So you must have your courses based on human values, based on Indian knowledge system, based on the outreach programs, right? There must be initiatives and courses related to this based on the environment as well. Those are the necessary courses in your curriculum. This is how leadership can contribute towards the curriculum reform. Let us see the educators edition. Number 1 is translate learning outcomes into daily teaching practices. How this can be contributed by educators. So, are the person who are interacting with the who are the link between the curriculum and the students, right? So they must translate the learning outcomes of this curriculum into their daily practices, right? How they can do this? Anyone? We all are educators, I think. How we can translate our learning outcomes into daily teaching practices? Anyone? It is very simple. You should or you must begin your lecture with describing clearly mentioning which course outcome you are addressing. Number one. So at the beginning of every lecture, you must tell your students which course outcome is going to be addressed today in this session. Number two, if you have designed 4 course outcomes for a particular course which has 4 units or 4 chapters, so ideally every one course outcomes relates with at least one unit, right? You should distribute that course outcome on various unit outcomes as well. So for a course, you have 4 course outcomes. There should be 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the topics included in a chapter or a unit. There should be unit outcomes or chapter outcomes as well. Or you can call them topic outcomes as well, right? Mention every topic outcome at the beginning of every topic in every lecture. That is how student will get an impact. They will start learning what their learning outcomes are, what their course outcomes, what their topic outcomes, and they will stick to those outcomes. Because there is a very big gap between these things. What teacher wants to teach and what student wants to learn, or what student learns actually. When both are needed to be on a same platform, this learning outcomes, mentioning the learning outcomes, is the best key to do that. So at the beginning of the lecture, tell your student that today we are going to talk about our course outcome 1. And the topic is this, the topic outcome is this. Right? You should be able to identify various types of animals. That is the outcome of today's topic. That's it. So student knows what they are going to learn and what they should focus on. They should not focus on the property of animals. They should focus on only what animals can be identified based on what things. That's it. They should not learn what a zebra eats and what an elephant eats. No. They should know how they can differentiate a zebra and an elephant. That is how learning outcomes can help them to identify what they should focus on. So it is very much necessary. Teachers must start stating their outcomes at the beginning of the lectures. They must mention their course outcomes in their lesson plans and link those course outcomes with their activities, in-class activities, right? For example, if I want my student to learn about various types of matrices, right? I should put an activity which explores various type of matrices instead of just defining those matrices, right? So depending on your course outcome, you must design your activities as well. That is how you can integrate or you can translate your learning outcomes into your classroom. And before you go with the assessment, before you go for the tests, right, you must revisit your course outcomes again. You must cross-check whether your questions are satisfying the need of the course outcome or not. We all know Bloom's taxonomy, right? So if I have set my course outcome 3 at the level of 13 of Bloom's taxonomy, and I ask question of 6, that is not valid, right? That is injustice to the students. Though we have taught them about application and about discovering everything, right? But still, they are at level 3. They should be at level 3 only. Assessment should be up to level 3 only. So you can say your actionable, as an educator, the actionable step should be add CO, then design activities, and then map the assessment with your course file. Number 2 is this clear to you guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone who is not educator here, who is not a teacher in any HEI, who is a policymaker or a leader? Okay, that means all are teachers, right? So this must be given a great focus. Please try to learn these things. Please note these things. How we can do this. Look, it is not demand of the institution that teachers should be capable. It is a demand of an individual as well. If I upgrade myself, if I learn something, and if I implement those things in my practices, right? I will be able to get good outcomes. I will be able to get respect from my students. I will be able to get good outcomes or good outputs of my inputs. And that will give me a different satisfaction. That can be making me, मेरी कैपेबिलिटी बढ़ रही है ना, तो उससे मुझे फायदा होना ही होना है. So please try to note these things. These things are not my perspectives. Huh? These are the things which I have learned from somewhere and I'm just sharing with you. And these are the things which I have experienced. So telling or mentioning outcomes not only helps teachers, but they also helps the students as well. Number 2 is use rubric-based assessment for transparency, right? Several times it happens that two students compare themselves, right? For example, a Viva is going on and a same question is asked to two students. They compare themselves. I was asked this question and I gave this answer, but yet we both gave the same answer. We did the practical in the same manner, but still I do not get good marks as good as you got, right? So that dissatisfaction can be overcome using a rubric-based assessment. A rubric also gives chance to students to identify what they are being assessed on. So rubrics are very much essential in a transparent assessment system. Educators must replace their vague marking system with the rubrics for projects, presentations, practicals, assignments, or any qualitative aspects of assessment. They must share rubrics with the students before evaluation. So the students must learn what the expectations are, and the educators must maintain the evidence of their assessment. Right? That is how a transparent assessment system for the qualitative aspects can be developed, and it is very much helpful for teachers as well. I hope I'm clear. First, you must develop rubrics. Second, you should share the rubrics with students. And number 3, you should keep the rubrics used for the assessment. Rubrics में आपने जो बच्चों के मार्क्स लिखे उसको रख के रखो, है ना? कभी भी कोई इश्यू होता है, you can directly present that rubric to the student. बेटा यहाँ पे तुम्हारे मार्क्स कम हुए. That's it. This rubric should be for each and every activity. ऐसा नहीं कि आपके subject में there are 10 different projects and you use a single rubric for all these 10 practicals. Every practical should have its own rubric, right? Because every practical required a different skill set and different background knowledge, right? Yes. Number 3 is integrate employability skills in every course. What is this? Employability skills. How can you integrate employability skills in every course? How is this possible? Employability is not only about earning the money, right? It is about developing skill set for the outer world, for the industry, for the entrepreneurship, right? It is about making your student market ready, making them able to take decisions, making them able to solve conflicts, making them able to adopt the new challenges and learn the new skills that are upcoming, right? So in every course, there should be at least one employability related element, such as your problem solving skill or your communication or you can say digital literacy, or teamwork, or industry tool software, or at least nothing but the case studies, or at least applications, right? All these things are ultimately going to develop certain capacity, certain competency in your student, right? And that is how he or she will be market ready. Individually giving a course on employability or course on personality development, that is not enough. Every course must integrate at least one of these aspects. Okay, number 4 is, yes, number 4 is bring interdisciplinarity into curriculum, into classroom. So what is interdisciplinarity into classroom? How this can be, worked on? How educators can promote interdisciplinarity into classroom? I am a mathematician. How can I go interdisciplinary? I already told this. Let me try to explore what are the applications in the field of my students, right? One can use examples. If not applications, I can use case studies. I can use examples. I can use problems for other fields which are having application of my subject, my course, right? I can invite faculties from other departments to for 1 hour, 2 hour guest lectures, and he or she can, discuss how mathematics will be helpful to them. That is also whether they teach or not, but that is also a great approach to bring interdisciplinarity approach in your course, right? One can also connect the theory with society, science, environment, technology, business. That is another way of bringing interdisciplinary into course. You can give a small project, or you can give a small assignment of studying the impact of your course on different fields. That is also interdisciplinary approach, right? So next, what you should do in the class is, whenever you are designing your lesson plan, or whenever you are planning your whole course or whole syllabus, you should see what are the points at where I can give assignments which are beyond the course and which are beyond the discipline. What are the points where I can give application? What are the points where I can give case studies from the different fields? Right? That is how interdisciplinary your course can be in a true sense. Otherwise, it is already multidisciplinary. Right? Number 5, I hope I'm clear, right? So what an educator should do to bring the interdisciplinarity into the classroom? Number 1, utilize examples, applications, case studies, problems, and other things. Number 2, invite industrial partners or other department faculties for guest lecture. Number 3, connect your theory with the science, technology, and environment and other things, right? Give surveys on that, or give, you can say, small seminar on that, or give assignment for those kind of activities. Number 5 is adopt blended and active learning strategies. So this is something very much concern in this days. Teachers must incorporate innovative teaching learning methods in their classroom. That is what being debated in global level forums, right? And what are the different blended modes or active learning modes, active learning methods? The more blended mode is you can teach theory on online platform, and you can teach practical on offline platform. That is one thing, right? This way, time, energy, and resources are saved, right? Talking about active learning system, you can think about collaborative activities beyond students. You can think about flipped classrooms. You give seminars. Students have to learn certain topics on their own, and then they come to the class, and then they share their learnings, right? You assess their learnings, you correct their mistakes on the spot, and that is how flipped classroom work. You can take peer teaching as well. You can pair two students, and one who is bright student, one who is relatively weaker students, right? You can pair those two and and motivate their peer teaching as well. You can give group teaching as well. That is what you can work in. You can write. You can organize quizzes in the classroom as well. So this is how active learning strategies can be adopted. This is a debatable question, and there are many discussions already happened on this. So let us move further. Number 5 is maintain a strong course file or digital portfolio. This is very much necessary. So delivering a curriculum haphazardly is not a way for an impactful outcome, right? You must maintain a source file, a course file, which includes your lesson plan, which includes your COPO mapping, which includes your rubrics, which includes your assessment practices, right? Which includes your attendance and teaching notes, all those things. How does this work here? How does this help you? So when everything is collected at a point, it requires a proper planning, right? And that planning is dependent on a curriculum, right? So this way, the effective delivery of the curriculum is affected and given a great emphasis, given a great force of energy, right? So this is also necessary for successful delivery of curriculum, and hence the good impact of curriculum on the accreditation and all the things. Number 7 is provide structured feedback to students. Yes, feedbacks are very much necessary. Assessment also includes feedbacks. So give 5-minute feedback at the end of every unit to your students, how they have did something, how they have worked today, how they have presented themselves, and what activities they took part in, and how well or how worse they have gone in their activities, right? So when they have done something good, give a good feedback. When they have done something not good or not expected, give them again a good feedback, how they can improve themselves. That is what an assessment is meant for. You should start giving written and rubric-based feedback. So for a particular assignment, when a student submits an assignment, you give him score 10 out of 30, 10 out of 15, or 12 out of 20, right? That is not sufficient. That is evaluation, not assessment. Instead of giving only marks, you should write comments, what went wrong at which place. That is what you should give. Once you start that, students learn their mistakes and they start to improve those mistakes, right? Then you should also encourage anonymous course improvement suggestions. You should ask at the end of every unit and at the end of every course, what would you like to know about this course, or what would you like to know about this topic more? It is possible that student may give you very wonderful suggestions that you can implement in your curriculum development process, and you can revise your curriculum, right? Make sure that you integrate, even leaders must facilitate, make sure that you integrate at least one digital platform, whether it will be Google Form or whether it will be your institutional LMS, to share your feedbacks. Google Classroom was a good practice while we had Corona. So that should be continued. Or you can have your own institutional LMS as well. Many institutes have developed their LMS. You can have your LMS as well, but you must utilize that actively, right? Because that somehow creates active learning as well, right? Number 8 is promote student research and innovation. How educators can contribute to this in promoting student research and innovation? Obviously, only educators can promote this, right? Uh, Educators can start with small literature reviews. They can start with small surveys. They can start with mini research assignments. They can start with poster presentations, data collections through surveys, integrated project notebooks. So all these kind of activities can promote research, can promote innovations. You can also ask them what is new in this topic in these days, just get and find it. And the next day student comes with innovative things, or they can come with new ideas that these things are being new, right? Recently, there has been many social media as well, which have very good, scientific pages. You can discuss those things in classroom as well. Right? So this is how you can promote research and innovation. You can create hunger for learning new things, right, in students. Number 9 is collaborate with industry and international faculties. Yes. Here, what educators can do, you should collaborate with industry. You should collaborate with other institution faculties as well as international faculties. So we also think how I can collaborate with other international faculties. A simple way. You identify the expert in your field. Do some basic research, what his interest is, what kind of work he or she is doing, and then write a short email that I am working on this topic. I have studied your profile and I have come to know that you are interested in this topic. So we can collaborate. Can we collaborate with this topic, and can we identify some collaborative work? And that is how communication begins, right? 2 out of 10 communication reaches to the success. At least 2 reaches to the success. You will surely get something, right? So without fear, without any hesitation, start connecting with foreign faculties as well as industry partners, right? Arrange guest lectures. You can use case studies from the global universities, and that is how you can integrate the global aspect in your curriculum as well. You can go with the industrial trainings and industry-led certifications, and you must select projects that involve outer industries in your projects, right? So those things can be done from educators in terms of collaborate with industry and international faculties. Number 10 is maintain evidence for accreditation and rankings. This is very much important where IQAC faces problem. Am I correct, sir? IQAC faces the problem about evidences majorly. That is what we face at our university. I hope that is the same as Tegh Bahadur College as well. Am I correct, sir? Yes, yes. So maintaining evidences is very much necessary for the educators as well. Look, majorly the universities have their, progression aspect, faculty development process. We call it ARC. You maybe call it something else, right? But that system of promotion or increment must cover, this is for the leaders, must cover various aspects. How the faculty is contributing towards the curriculum development and enrichment. And when those are included, faculties must contribute in maintaining the documents and evidence. For example, if you have collaborated with some external participant, external resource person, and you have organized a guest lecture at least, right? So you must keep the attendance of guest lecture. You must prepare a report. You must keep the announcement of the guest lecture, right? The circular, maybe it is, or maybe it is a notice, whatever it is. You must keep those records, right? That are very helpful. The photographs must be taken, and majorly it should be geotech, which NAAC and NIRF both have asked for this time. So we were asked geotech photographs in NIRF. So NIRF has also started asking for geotech photographs, right? Then COP attendance sheets that are very necessary if you by chance are going for any NBA accreditation process. They ask for 2 cycles, at least 2 cycles of the whole COP attainment cycle. So that is also necessary. Every document included in the attainment process should be maintained well. You must attain your assessment rubrics for transparent assessment. You must keep or maintain the project reports, research contribution of your students, everything, right? So you must create a folder for the accreditation related activities that you have done. That is how you can contribute towards accreditation. Following this 10-point curriculum reform roadmaps, teachers or educators directly contribute to NEXT teaching, learning, and evaluation quality. They contribute to NDA's outcome-based education requirements. They contribute to NIRF's graduation outcomes and perception. They contribute to QS or the related teaching reputational and global engagement indicators. And they contribute to NEP's competence-based interdisciplinary education. So this way, a single roadmap, right, gives you aiming at different targets, right? And I can suggest that every institute should focus on this and implement this. This is how the quality review cycle, as I said, review should be happening every year. So this is how various review process should be done. Curriculum should be reviewed every 3 years at least. This is minimum duration, and it should be revised. Output will be a revised syllabus, updated COs. The feedback collection cycle should be done every semester, and it will guide you to take an action taken report. The output will be action taken report. That action will guide your curriculum revision, will guide your improvement in teaching, learning, and assessment practices. Next cycle is outcome attainment analysis, which should be reviewed every semester wise. Am I audible clearly? My earbuds just died. So I'm on to the mic.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much. The first column gives you which aspect must be reviewed frequently, right? Faculty development should be reviewed. This is, sir, IQAC does not focus on this, the faculty development review process, right? That should be reviewed every semester wise, whether the faculty has gone to any industry or not, whether faculty has conducted and attended any FTP or not, like that, whether he or she has contributed to any activity in the institution or university. That should also be reviewed twice a year. Academic audit should be done annually, and IQAC must review all the aspects biannually, right? This majorly contributes in collection of data, compilation, as well as representing data for various processes, whether it is NAAC or whether it is ND or whether it is any other ranking or rating framework. Now, the last which I have thought to discuss was automated curriculum audit worksheet. But before I go with this, let me tell you how teachers can contribute in attaining SDGs, right? Please contribute in at least one outreach activity. take part in outreach activities. Number one, take up projects considering about the social needs, local needs, global needs as well. Number three, every time you begin your lecture or you end your lecture, talk about at least one SDG, spread awareness. Right, that is what you can do. That way, student will also start taking interest. Right, because SDGs are given emphasis, they are being a point of attraction not only by the UN who has designed, but it is being discussed worldwide. Indian government has also started giving emphasis on that. SDG-led projects are given fundings as well. So you should start fetching funds for such projects as well. And they are easily available because there are no competition right now, no much competition right now for the SDG-based projects, right? So identify the area where you can contribute and start designing projects on that, start spreading awareness among students as well as the faculties, right? UNESCO and UN both have special programs where they give a volunteer trainings to the teachers and educators, right? You can go to the website of UN and you can search for those programs as well. UNESCO does for the social responsiveness. So that is also a good initiative an educator can take. Now coming back to the topic on the screen, automated curriculum audit. I think I do not have much time. Oh, it is on. Pradhyuman sir, can I take 5 minutes, 5 or 7 minutes more, please? Okay, thank you. So, automated curriculum audit worksheet. So, as I said, audit or review should be happen every time. But before an institution goes to any review process or any reframing or redevelopment process of curriculum, right? Curriculum must be audited, whether it matches with the needs or whether it matches with the global standards or whether it matches with the expectation of the national needs or not. That is necessary. So for that, we have developed a worksheet. Let me give you the idea of that worksheet. I think the leaders of institution can also sorry, it is okay. Is the sheet visible? I think no, right? Let me share this.
No, sir. No, sir.
Just a minute, sir. Still, it is the presentation, right?
Sir, not visible.
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir.
Visible, sir.
Is it visible now? Okay. So how this audit can be done? There can be a committee, right? Committee of 2 or 3 experts, or you can say senior faculty from outside your institute, outside your university. They can check whether these domains are given emphasis in your curriculum or not. So the domains are governance and policy, OBE framework, employability and industry, disciplinary integration, global alignment, teaching, learning, assessment, and feedback and review. These are the major domains that we have covered in our audit system, audit of our curriculum. The checklist includes, when governance and policy is talked about, we check whether curriculum revision policy exists or not, and is it functional or not. How frequent the curriculum, what you can say, is being revised, right? And what is the procedure of revising the curriculum? That is policy. That is designed in a policy form, right? And we check whether that policy exists in the institution or not, in the faculty. As a university, we have different faculty, right? So whether that policy is implemented in the particular program or not, or in the particular faculty or not, and whether the revision is being in the same manner or not, and the Board of Studies involvement is documented or not. Now, Board of Studies involvement in two terms. Number one, whether revision was gone through the Board of Studies. That means Board of Studies suggested. Board of Study suggested revision only. Board of Studies suggested what to revise, and Board of Study accepted the revision. That kind of three different involvement are categorized. And next, whether the Board of Study contains involvement from the season or not. Hello? Yes, ma'am? So this is how we have divided our different domains in different checklist items, right? This list can go beyond this as well. So we have combined 2-3 aspects and make a single aspect. For example, this curriculum revision policy exists and it is functional. Now, we have also mentioned the evidence required. Here, the faculty or the program representative feels their evidence is what they have kept ready. When we go to the audit, we check those evidence, and we, depending on the evidence, we mention whether this is yes or no, right? So if I see that everything is okay, I write yes here, and automatically the next column gives score. If I write that this criteria is satisfied partially, the next column gives 0.5. And if the criteria is not satisfied, the next column gives me 0. So once the whole column is filled, this gives me a score, 6, right? While checking the evidence, I record gaps identified. I record the how to fill those gaps as an action requires. And I record the responsible first person who can take that actions. And I write timeline as well. Within what timeline this action can be taken and should be taken, right? So this is how we document our audit system, right? How this is reported then. Number one, this is itself a report. Number two, we also get a dashboard here. So for a particular program, total possible score was 12, and the particular program for which this sheet is prepared has achieved score 6. Next time when we take the review after the revision, we compare what has happened. If the achieved score has improved, we take the actions were taken. The actions taken were in the correct direction. If the score has decreased, clearly the actions were not up to the mark. So we again take analysis. Where was the score less and where the score is now higher? And that analysis also helps in taking decisions. This is called the data-driven decision in curriculum revision as well. For example, based on that, a final report, this kind of summary report is also created, and this is directly provided to the respective head or HOD. So this kind of practice can also be conducted. Institutes can have their own frame of, you can say, audit. That was the last topic from my side.